The next tool on the toolbar is Bind to Space Warp. And this is similar to a link tool, but what it does is link objects to a space warp. Space warps are found under the Create panel and under the Space Warp button. For the purpose of this example, I'm going to use the bomb space warp. I'll select it, and I'm going to place it right under my spheres, right there. And it's a little triangle. You see a little yellow triangle. That's the space warp object. Now, what I'm going to do is select my spheres, and I'm going to use the Bind to Space Warp tool, and I'm going to click on the objects I want to bind and drag and link it to the space warp. And once I've done that, I can use my animation slider at the bottom of the screen, and you can see that it explodes the objects that I've linked to the space warp. If I go to the Modifiers panel in the Modifier Stack and I select my space warp, I can change the attributes for the space warp. For example, the explosion strength and some other attributes. And when I use the animation bar to scrub the animation, you can see that it's changed that space warp. So, the Bind to Space Warps lets you bind them to a space warp. A space warp is an effect that distorts or changes the shape of objects.